So guys, let's make a single welt pocket together, and this is how to go about it. So I have my measurements. First of all, I have this square fabric measuring 6 by 6 inches. 6 by 6 inches, 6 inches width and 6 inches length. So it makes it a perfect square. First of all, I cut it 6 by 6 inches. Okay, so once I was done cutting out my 6 by 6 inches, I cut out two. Okay, it has a lining and a main fabric, but before that, this other biro line you are seeing is where the welt pocket is going to sit on, and it is measuring 4 inches by 0.6 inch. This side is 0.6 inch, right? 0.6 inch, and this side is 4 inches. Okay, and then I went ahead, above it is 1.5 inches, right? 1.5 inches, that is the space I left above before I have the 4 by 0.6. okay, and then I went ahead to divide the 0.6 into 2. As you can see, that is the line which I used to divide it, and then it gave me 0.3 inch in between. 0.3 inch in between. Okay, and then this is the lining piece. I'm using a white fabric. I infuse my fusible on it, on the lining, and this is the main fabric. Okay, on the lining you infuse your fusible into it. You infuse your fusible into it, and then I replicated that mark on the main fabric, which is at the back, as you can see me show this to you. So this is the main fabric, the brown one, and this is the lining, the white one. I put both of them together like this. So we have the welt pocket on the main lining, on the lining piece this way, and then on the main fabric behind it. Okay, so if you watch this video to this point, do well to like, share and subscribe. And this is my jacket. Okay, is a waistcoat. I also mark that line on the point where I want to infuse the pocket. Okay, I came down from the shoulder to 8 inches, the point where I want the pocket to be, and then I mark the line. So the same thing I did here. Like I said earlier, this mark is 0.6 inches. Okay, the width is 0.6 inches. You know, is a single welt pocket. It's often a false pocket. Is sometimes is not deep at all, but you can choose to add a bit of depth to yours. You can choose not to add any depth to it. So it's called a false pocket. Sometimes, in some other times, it can have depth, or you can poke in your ends and other things, right? So the width for the pocket is 4 inches. I said that earlier. And then you have this little welt space. This is what we give it that welt appearance, right? Is 0.6 inch. Then I divided the 0.6 inch into 2, so I have 0.3 here, 0.3 here. Okay, this is the lining piece, right? So I infuse my fusible into it. Okay, on this lining piece. Please note that you can use any fabric of your choice depending on the feel you want to give to your outfit. Okay, you can use the same fabric you are using for the jacket. Okay, you can use you can just play with it, you know, depends on what color you want to appear, you know, on the outside of the pocket. So I'm using this white piece, and it's not going to show at all. Okay, for now this one is not going to show. This one is going to show. This is the part we are going to be seeing on the frontal, on the outside of the welt pocket. So I have it. I've infused fusible into this panel. This is the main fabric. I did not infuse fusible into it. Okay, this at the right side. I put them together, right side facing right side. On the wrong side of the main fabric, I also did what we did here. Okay, I traced it. I traced it properly. When I was done, you know, making all this mark, I used my tracing wheel to trace it properly. Okay, and then I replicated it on this part. This is the wrong part of the main fabric. It's very important that you trace it properly, because when you're going to be placing it, this is the part you are going to be seeing. You're not going to be seeing this side, so this tracing is very important. Okay, so I haven't explained this. we bring the front panel of my jacket. You know, we are making a waistcoat. Okay, this is the front panel of the jacket. This is the collar. We have joined, all right, we have joined, you know, the center panel to the side panel. We've done all of that as I showed you guys earlier. So I have determined where I want my pocket to be. So if you want to ask for measurement sake, I measure from my shoulder, okay, down to 18 inches, as you can see, 18 inches. And then the same way we achieve this 4 inches here is the same thing I just did here, the same 4 inches, right? The same 4 inches, and then 0.6 inch waist. That's what I did here. So the next thing you are going to do is to bring your pockets, and then you will trace it. Okay, this point is this point, and this point, you will trace it properly and place it properly like this. So I fold it like this, following the line like this, and then I will place it, the dots meeting the dots, just like that. Okay, so when you are sure that it's well placed, okay, you will release this one and then pin it down. All right, you will pin it down like that to keep it in place for you, and then you will take it to your sewing machine and sew on this rectangle line like this. You just sew like on it like that. Okay, so I position it properly on my line, and then I sew following my lines. Okay, make sure you're following your lines. So once I was done stitching like this, we are going to slice the center line open. So I grab my rotary cutter, and then I use it because my scissors will not go into that space. So I use my rotary cutter to cut on the line like this. But before doing that, you are going to create an angle, like an arc like this. Watch what I'm doing, okay? Like this. This is very important, okay? Very, very important, because we need that little piece. Okay, so once you've created those angles, you can now continue cutting. So we've already sliced it open, so I will continue cutting. When I get to the angle, I will go to the corners like this, and make sure you notch very closely, you know, into the edge properly, but don't cut through your seams, okay? But make sure you notch it to the very last so that it will open flat properly for you, but don't cut through your seam, okay? So once I'm done with that angle, I will come to the other angle, continue like this. This is the most simplest way of creating your welt pocket, okay? Give this video a like, a share, a thumbs up if it's helping you understand how to create a welt pocket. So we are done. Slice it open. This is what we have. So the next thing you will do is to pack the whole of this and pass it through the hole like this, okay? You just pass everything through the hole like this, and then give it a very good press. So once you have passed that through the hole, this is what you will have. Okay, this is the space for our welt pocket. It has been created already. Okay, this is it. Okay, if you notch very well, everything will relax very well. Okay, so this is the back. The next thing you will do now is to iron it properly. So let me iron and come back. So this is it when I was done ironing. This is the inside, right? And this is the outside. You see how neat and beautiful it is looking, right? So the next thing we'll do now, we'll turn it inside like this. And then this part of the pocket, we want to create the closing for this hole. Okay, I'll pick it like this. I'll make a pleat like this, and then I'll bring it like this. Okay, to meet with this part of the pocket. Please note, you don't overlap it. Do not overlap. Make sure it is at the same point. So make sure it is touching. They are just touching themselves, facing themselves. This up is touching this part is touching this part, but it's not overlapping. They are just facing each other like that on the same line. Do you understand? It's like this. You pick it, you make a pleat and bring it up like this. Okay, and then you iron it so it relaxes for you. So I've ironed. Okay, I've ironed the plate and I've used my pin to hold it down. This is what it looks like on the right part. We have successfully created our single welt pocket. Is this not looking beautiful? Isn't this looking beautiful? So beautiful and so to achieve, right? I love it. So the next thing we are going to do now is to hold it down with a stitch. Okay, so I'll turn it backwardly like this. This is how to hold it down. Okay, remember that little arc that we made when we were joining the lining to the fabric? That little arc, this is it. It's very important. So we are going to hold close to this, and that's line, that stitch that we used to hold the initial one, this stitch that we have here, or on the same stitch line, if you understand what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that you are stitching very close to the pocket. Okay, I will just then trace that line and then stitch on it. I will do the same to the other side. I'll bring the other side like this, and then I run the same stitch. Just like that. So we are going to cut a fabric that is 5 by 4, okay, to close this and to make the whole of the pocket. So I have this already, 5 by 4. Okay, I'll just go ahead to pin it down like this, and then we'll stitch. Can you see that the process is very easy? Please give this video a like, a share, a thumbs up, and do well to ask your questions. Okay, it's very important that you ask questions. So I'm done pinning down. The next thing for me is to stitch. We are still going to go back to stitch on that same line. Okay, so I will stitch like this first. I start from the up, I will follow the same line of stitch close to my pocket. I continue stitching to close up my pocket. Okay. If you understood what we did here, please give a thumbs up, give a like to this video. I continue stitching following the lines like this. Okay, I'm going to follow this line. And then we are done. So this is what we have. We've succeeded and successfully created our single welt pocket. This is it. This is the back. I'm going to go ahead to trim off this excesses like this, and you can weave the edges. Okay. We've successfully created our pockets. This is it. Do well to give a like, give a share, give a thumbs up. This is the other panel, right? All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay.